this year is the 25th anniversary of the release of the Nintendo Game Boy, which was not the first ever handheld console, but it was certainly the best, and that's what we're here to discuss tonight. We have, from the Guardian website, 25 fun facts about the Nintendo Game Boy, some of which are probably false, but at least one of these is going to be true, and we're going to go through these and see if they are.
Well, if you got it from Kotaku, probably all of them are fucking lies.
Game Girls. Ironically, considering its name, Game Boy was also one of the first games machines to successfully target female players. In 1995, Nintendo claimed that 46% of Game Boy users were female, a major leap from 29% on the NES, and this has remained a cornerstone of Nintendo's marketing and design approach.
Yep. Yeah, I can fully give that a thumbs up because I got my Game Boy when they first came out, and I think my sister had it for a good 6 months.
Right.
So yeah, I can attest to that. Yes, that's without a doubt fucking true.
Yeah, a lot of those games are quite cutesy, even stuff like Super Mario Land with the Easter Island heads, etc. Very cartoony, very kiddie.
Yeah, but it wasn't really those games that drew that audience in. It was mostly just Tetris and puzzle games. It's funny now because considering what we have like with Candy Crush and Plants vs Zombies, Bejeweled and whatever, the Game Boy really saw that market very early. It was a complete fluke with games like Tetris and other puzzle games, but you know, you can see a little bit of the future with the Game Boy when it comes to what we have now with tablets and phones and what have you.
Do you think we're a little bit snobbish these days when we look at Nintendo and say, oh, that's a console for kiddies and girls? Also sexist, actually, in that manner.
Yeah, but the thing is with Nintendo, oh, here we go, another tangent. Now, in this day and age, they play up to the kiddies. Most of their games are advertised for children, so it's not really a stigma of Nintendo. It's Nintendo making the stigma.
Right. There is that gap in the market because none of the other consoles have gone for that or even tried. You've got the Xbox 360, well, from the last generation, you've got the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Neither of them even attempted to sell to kids. Oh, look at these games like Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty. So, back to the Game Boy. Let's have a look. Here we go. The Game Boy in space. In 1993, cosmonaut Alexander A. Severov took his Game Boy along the Soyuz TM-17 space mission to the Mir station, and the console orbited the Earth 3,000 times before safely returning with its owner. And it was included later in an auction of space travel memorabilia held at Bonham's in New York.
I remember that. Yeah, I seen that picture.
Yes, it sold for $1,220.
Isn't there another Game Boy where it literally survived a shooting of some sort? It was in a game shop window, and it got beaten to absolute shit and shot and blown up and all that, and it still worked.
Yeah, that's been doing the rounds on the internet in the last few months, hasn't it?
Gunpei Yokoi, who made the Game Boy, really, really saw the ball coming. It's amazing how that console, even though it was technology-wise, it was behind likes of the Game Gear and the Lynx, but it hit such a nerve with people at the time, and it became insanely popular even to this day. Even though, like I said, I'm not the biggest Nintendo fan in the world, when it comes to the Game Boy, if there's a console that deserves all the praise in the world, it's the Game Boy. They really made something that transcended genre, transcended gender. It was a huge success, and people, including myself, have fond memories of it to this day.
Yeah, here's to the Game Boy. Just on that Game Boy that survived the bombing, it survived a barracks bombing during the Gulf War and currently resides at the Nintendo World Store in New York City.
Yeah, that's it.
And it still works.
Yeah. That blows my mind. If you put a 3DS there, it would have snapped in half in the wind. You know? So people piss and moan about it. It's not cutting edge technology, but for what it worked, and it was interesting time in that time of gaming. And to this day, like I said, it's still got a very rabid and cult-like following.